And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. And Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
those guys.
So
We
what's up,
just
Mark?
went live on the ticker. Everything's good. What's up, guys? What's up, feet on the ground from Australia? I just got your alert in my ear and on the screen. Albuquerque quadcopter, how are you? I see he was the first one here. I put let's go, but then I went to another window. Stevie's here. Capture
Yes.
capture lights connection. Stevie Bronx is here. What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing?
Well, I'm good. I'm just here.
Aerodynamic photography and video. How are you? Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys. I'm not familiar with your name, but I'm actually going to go to your channel right now and click that red button so I can see what kind of material you have. All right, I see. Ontario. Okay. Hoover Dam.
Who we
I'm
talking?
gonna have to stop by your page and check it out. I just supported your channel, FYI.
Who we talking to?
Sparrow Dynamic Photography and Video. That's my first time seeing that channel, so okay. I figured I would go check it out. Albuquerque, what's good, dude? How are you? Dude, Rob in Australia, feet on the ground.
Yes.
We have an important problem here. I need some more of that damn beef jerky or a link to know where I could buy some more. That shit was good. That was the best thing in the pack. He sent me from Australia. Dude, you start eating this beef jerky, Herman, and all of a sudden you picture yourself with a cowboy hat on and you're riding a horse. I mean, it's that real beef jerky.
Okay.
Flavored very well. What's up, Aerial Landscape? How are you? I seriously appreciate that. I was on a Canadian drone hub today. Okay. I
know him from over Canadian Drone Hub.
That's what he was saying. He was on there.
Yeah.
Novice Quad just mentioned earlier, I really want to get back to the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, and Philly. You come to New York, you better hit us up.
Come on back.
Yeah, come on. Even if you come for a week, a day, is that Gary Sparrow?
Yeah. I think that's his name, right? Gary, right?
What's up, Stevie?
So anyway, Lawrence, like I said, this week is my week of my tour of the doctor's offices and and physical therapy.
Right.
And the other day, the therapist was hanging off of my foot. So, yesterday I was just sitting here all night, with the throbbing. But I'm good, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing it. I'm all. They got me on my feet though with the crutches doing the hop along.
Listen, you're getting stronger, right?
A little bit at a time.
Okay, that's all that matters. As long as you're not getting worse. The little bit at a time isn't going to hurt. Hold on. I want to move back. Need a roof and a job, LOL. And definitely come hang with you guys. Listen, I can't do nothing about the roof or the job. I'm sorry.
What's up,
but
David?
I could probably just get back to New York, man.
Well, he's got to
back to New York. I mean, within reason. I'm not saying tell your family you're going out for some milk or cigarettes and don't come back.
But you can't move to New York without work.
This is true. This is true. Have you made? Hey, what's up, Carpenter Rick and Antonio Pereira? I don't know these names. Are these guys coming over from Canadian Drone Hub?
Yes, you remember him.
Well, I don't remember him, but I'm on his channel now. I'm hitting subscribe to his channel. I'm supporting his channel. I'm
been around.
I'm doing a support thing here. What's good, Carpenter? Hey, Antonio, I just supported your channel, man. Okay.
What's up, man? Yeah, he's been around a little bit. I start to remember some of the names.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Go ahead. I'm still here. I'm just in
the
makeup.
other day when we were, or was it Sunday? We were talking about UTMs, and I know it seems like sometimes when we start getting into the whole thing about UTMs and we start talking about remote ID, it almost seems as if the hobbyist is like he's
Don't say it.
huh?
Don't say it.
What?
I don't know, but it
Like
sounds like you're gonna say something bad.
no, like he's being left out of the equation.
Okay, that's not as
And
bad as I thought you were gonna say.
and then when we start the whole campaign that started on the whole US made drones, I think the hobbyist also looks at that as like, damn, there's another shot at, at me being, losing my hobby when it comes to flying cinematic drones and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying
Jack,
that, hey,
no,
Jack,
go ahead. I was just saying what's up to Jack
that
Sparky.
we're the the Chinese are the only ones that were making drones. I'm just saying on the consumer level, when you start talking to guys and the whole campaign of the building drones in America and stuff like that, yes, I'm all for that. But when we started talking about it and when that whole thing came up, not here, but when it came to the forefront in the country,
Yeah.
it was an attack on DJI and on DJI only, and I'm not saying that there wasn't things about DJI that didn't make it easy, because there is some guys that's easy to get at and some guys it's not easy to get at.
Right.
But when you start getting that, when you start talking about not trusting Chinese made drones and American made drones,
That's kind of hard to do.
right, because when you look at the drones that were mentioned, especially like in that list, that blue list, that blue 5, or
Click that like button, guys.
you had, Skydio and as a part of it, that was, that got this contract to make drones for the government. And most American made drones are not for the hobbyists, if at all, any.
Hold on. Albuquerque Quadcopter says Phantom Flight. Name a U.S. company that is the leader in electronics for consumers. I can't.
Well,
And
this is what
therein lies
said.
the problem.
But this is what I just said. And this
Yeah.
is why when you start to attack a company like DJI, and I'm a union member. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I've said this to a lot of my union brothers. When you start going after non-union and you complaining about non-union, and those guys that are working non-union, if your union is not ready to get them a job, let them go to work. Your problem is not with him, it's with the company.
Right.
So when you start talking about Chinese made drones, if you don't have a drone here in America for your consumers to have, let that dude rock and come up with something better.
Well, as of lately, I've been hearing of a few drone companies that are being put together here in New York. I mean, here in the States.
I have
And
two.
whoever that was hung up.
I have two, and there's a few of them. There's a few of them out there.
508. That was Justin trying to call. Did you send him an invite?
I sent him an invite. I sent one to Paul. I sent one to Sean.
Let me hit him back and see what's up.
This is just me and you tonight.
Okay. All right. If it was just me, I'd be happy. If it was just you, I'd be happy. The show must go on.
What I'm saying is that with the whole thing with the US made drones, I'm all for that. But if we have to wait, because that conversation could get deep and it could last for more than 2, 3, 4 hours, because the hardest thing to do, what we do here on all of these YouTube stations, and we're talking about drones and stuff, and we start getting into that topic, the hardest thing to do is to talk about it without bringing politics into it.
Yeah,
Because
that's true. Albuquerque says he loves Chinese, Japanese, and Vietnamese stuff, but we need U.S. hubs for their products. This is true. But you want to know what, Albuquerque? If I agree with that, if you're going to sell your stuff here in the United States, put a plant here. Put a plant here, invest some money in our country, and you'll make more sales than ever.
Well, when you say put a plant here, you're now talking about manufacturing here.
Well, yeah, manufacturing, but you figure they would have to hire locals because no one's going to let you put that in a town. You remember the incident with Amazon and why Amazon is not in New York right now, and
Mhm.
in the five boroughs, I should say, because it is across the water in Jersey.
So
But you remember Amazon wanted to come to New York and go to Queens,
Mhm.
where they had enough space and they could build a large enough warehouse so that you could order something, and instead of it coming in 2 to 3 days regular, you would almost get it as if it were Prime, as if you had Prime.
Mhm.
Because you can almost do that now. If depending on what you order here
Right.
in New
Yeah,
York,
that is
will
true.
dictate whether you get it within a day or two, and you don't have to have Prime for that to get it next day.
Well,
Even though Prime is the
I
joint.
get a lot of stuff. Sometimes I get stuff the same day, and the
See,
next,
I've never had that happen yet.
yeah, I
You're
get
not
I
coming to my
stuff
neighborhood
the
the
same day.
same day.
Yeah, I've got stuff the same day.
By the way, Tony, and yes, Novice,
Get
we
that
need
late.
manufacturing here and American face on the easier to understand manuals, etc. Agreed, agreed. The problem with the United States, and this goes with the UK as well, and I'm only speaking for the United States and UK, and I have quite a few friends in the UK. I love the country and everything, but the problem with the United States is when I come home and I ask my wife for dinner or what's for dinner, and she gets on and calls Grubhub, that's a problem. When you when you go and spend your money, let me stop. Never mind. The views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight. The point you
No,
read between the lines.
no,
I know goddamn well what I'm saying. Americans and people from the UK are just fucking lazy.
well, you see, I had this conversation, and that's not really it, Lawrence. I had this conversation.
They don't call us lazy.
No,
The
follow.
worst rest of the world.
Well, listen, what I'm saying. I had this conversation with my father. We were talking about this, and everybody here in the chat, we're all here. We all into RC and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, growing up, think real hard. How many of your friends were into it?
In the RC,
Mhm.
you mean my personal friends?
Yeah.
None. None.
Okay. Exactly. So, and part of that is to the fact that when you look a lot of these kids that are in other countries, their schooling and everything directs them towards a lot of the things that they do. Ours, well, we talking about this recently now that these programs are starting to come up in the school system. It's very far few in between.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
if
When
we have to wait for a fifth grader
to come
that's
from
in
another
school
country,
now,
to come from another
no,
country.
that's in school now, to become that kid that starts designing consumer drones for the United States, what I'm gonna do in the meantime when you ban my DJI?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
saying, so let them rock and come up with something good. Because the whole thing is, honestly, and we talked about this a few times, it's got to come from the educational system.
That's true. That's true. That's one
We
of the,
have to
and
change
what's
the way
messed.
of thinking in this country and the way we want things to come from. Because if we don't get back to that kind of thinking, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I agree. Already people are ordering the Hero 9. The Hero 9's 5K?
What happened?
Ooh, I didn't know that. But it's no good if your computer can't handle it.
You're right. They did
Go
cause
out
an
and
issue. That's why I said in the beginning, they made it easy for them to be the one to get picked on. There's
yeah.
a lot of guys that fall by the wayside that makes it easy for them to be picked on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lawrence, that was just what I wanted to talk about there tonight, not the whole show, but, as to say, we'll pick up from like last week, or I shouldn't say last week, but Sunday, first day of the week, saying last week. Yeah. But that was us, you know, it was a topic that, like I said, we could talk about that for days because it has a lot of arms and it has a lot of places to go. So
Oh,
I don't know.
in answer to Bill, real quick, $450 is a great price for a 5K camera. The
Mhm.
problem is 9 out of 10 people, you know, Bill, you Albuquerque, you Stevie Captures Life, you Herman, 9 out of 10 of your friends don't have a computer that can play true 4K, nonetheless 5K. So think about this before people run out and buy, oh, it's 5K camera. Okay, 5K camera is great. That's the next technology. That means 1080p is now going to become the new 720. You know what I'm saying, Herman? In the range of cameras. I mean frames per second.
Well,
Geozoning shows how easy they can detect our drones, putting out software for authorities to use without them asking. All leads to, this Chinese company can sure do a lot here in the United States. It it's yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's a lot because you know, like what we were talking about, and you know, has to do with the topic, somewhat of the show tonight, and kind of touches in areas, like I said, of that subject. But you know, it's rough because, like I said, we this has to start from this from the school level, and
Educational system, and right now educational systems can't even get our kids in school today because most of the servers were offline in New York. I'm
oh, yeah,
speaking for New
problem.
York. My daughter was able to get in, but they sent us an email. I called, they said, if you have a problem signing in, because my daughter had to sign in for today's orientation. So
Hmm.
yesterday she could not sign in. So I
Okay.
called this morning. They said, call back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We'll try to resolve the issue. I called at 8 a.m. The teacher, after waiting now, I'm working now. You know, I had to work today. I'm
Mhm.
working now while on hold. And after about 3 to 4 minutes, somebody comes back on the phone and says, it's time oriented. Now, I'm a computer person, so to have someone try and tell me this kind of stuff, I thought it was amusing. But she goes, it's time oriented. People are having problems signing in because it's not time for them to sign in yet. They're
Okay.
supposed to sign in for orientation at 9:30 a.m. Try at 9:25. If that doesn't work, try at 9:30. If that doesn't work, try at 9:35. And I said, huh? You know,
What, 10
so
o'clock you go bang on the school door?
make a long story short, my daughter did get access, but then I received an email saying if you have not gained access yet, it's because most of the state doesn't have access. And teachers were complaining on the news this morning that they're not going into the schools because that remote access, they want the teachers to work remote access and work with classes too. And the teachers are saying, hell no, I'll work from home remote access, but I'm not going into a school where the AC unit is only working in half the building.
Okay.
But let's get back to the drone stuff. Hey, Corey Mano,
Yeah, 'cause
4K is irrelevant for the most part.
I had a story to tell you about that whole remote schooling thing that got me in trouble.
How? You're not in school.
And that's what I didn't understand. You know, Jalen is doing the remote school thing, right? So
Yeah.
first day, you know, he wears uniform to school. So first day, why did him and I asked his mother the same question? Does he have to wear uniform? They said he has to wear uniform. Well, how would they know if he's not wearing his pants? What kind of creepy are y'all on that you want to sit there in your drawers on the computer? I'm
I
like,
know. I know. I know.
who
You
said
just got
anything about sitting here in your drawers on the computer? I just want to know how they gonna know he don't have his uniform pants on and his shoes.
exactly. You're just gonna have to deal with it. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry
But
if you guys are hearing all of this, but someone clicking everything that I've done on Instagram, clicking like, and it's just
oh,
going.
well, what I thought was a quite interesting story was an article that I saw here on from Forbes. No, it was something that was brought to my attention, and I checked out the article on Forbes, a Forbes article on
I'll post a link
Drones
after we do the
seem to
story.
be, you know, remember when you guys were mentioned, I think, I know Sean Geeks, Vanna did a thing on it, and I think you had
Right, the
mentioned,
drones that were flying over the
oh,
missile silos
right,
in the Midwest, and
exactly.
nobody knew what they were. There were multiple drones, multiple shapes, multiple
Mhm,
lights, but
right.
no one could identify it, not even the FAA.
Well, apparently something similar to that has been going on over nuclear power plants. You know,
Yeah,
they have indicated that there were 57 incidents reported at 24 nuclear sites.
yeah, you guys need to listen to this
Now,
because
mhm.
this is happening quite often, a little too often.
Now between 2015 and 2019, right, this information was gathered from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
Yes.
Now, they found that at two sites, one in Arizona, Palo Verde in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and Limerick in North Nuclear Generation Station in
In
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Now, what they found was that there were 5 or 6 drones at one time. They said flying over Unit 3. Now they call those, I guess those, what do they call those things at those nuclear plants again? Well,
The
they call
cooling
it.
tower. The cooling tower.
No, they call it a unit because that's what they called it in the article.
Right.
But
Each one of those tubes that
3,
they have is called it is an individual unit, they call
right?
them,
They
or a cooling tower or whatever.
that there were 5 or 6 drones operating for about 80 minutes. Now, what I find interesting about that is that for 80 minutes,
You
I'm
don't have nothing to fly that long.
well, I mean, I'm quite sure that it wasn't
Right. It was stretched out over the time. It said a length of
right
time
a
of which
length of time of 80 minutes. Now, I'm quite sure now, not sound like somebody could have been, I don't know what, it could have been anything.
well, it says in the
Because it was
article
five or
here,
six of
it
them. And
says a length of time which suggested they were carrying out
yeah,
a thorough survey of the site.
that's
Now,
what it
who do
was.
you know can afford to survey and or map a nuclear tower, a nuclear site, period?
Well, if the plant is complaining about it, and this, they said that the similar activities that were going on in Arizona was found at the power
Hey,
station
Joe Mac.
in Pennsylvania. If the plants, them both are complaining about it because this had been going on in Pennsylvania before it happened in Arizona. So what am I looking at it from my understanding of what I was reading, that this is something that they were complaining about because this is something that the commission is keeping a study on.
But here's something you need to take into account with this story, this article, because it's not a
Mhm.
story. It's an actual article in Forbes, and I'll post a link after we talk about it so you can read it more in detail. But this has been happening. There were 57 events from 2015 to 2019 that they counted. Now, out of these events that are happening there, I don't know anyone with a drone that could go near anything that strong without getting interference. Do you?
Well, we never know what our drones could do sometimes.
Yeah, well,
You've gotten close enough to the Williamsburg Bridge, and that's a cage.
true. That's
You know
true.
what I mean? That's a cage of steel.
Yeah, that is true. But the fact that drones, there are groups of drones flying missile silos in the Midwest, which they never solved and proved that the FAA claims, hi babe, the FAA claims they don't know about it, and the United States government claims they don't know
There
anything
you
about it.
go.
Yet, to get near a missile silo, the only way to get near one is to fly there. And on the map, those are no fly zones. So I don't know what's going on there, but the fact that these drones are flying nuclear power plants gets to your second half of the story
Well, it's
about the cooling pools.
because that you mentioned that, because I'm not sure if they are they all geofenced? Because when you go to Google Maps and stuff like that, you remember how Google Maps used to show sometimes the funny shaded pictures and all of that. When I was
Here,
reading the article, yeah.
hold on, Albuquerque. Go ahead.
When
Go
I
ahead.
was reading the article, I went to Google Maps, and Google Maps were bringing up pictures of both of these plants.
Well, hold on. Albuquerque says he calls BS. If there was a vehicle that approached from the road, all kinds of alerts happen. So if there were 80 minutes worth of drone activity, 5 drones over the period of 80 minutes, the Air Force should have responded. Well,
Well, this
apparently
is
Albuquerque quadcopter, these power plants have been complaining about this and no one's doing anything about it.
now. Watch this. Now,
Hey, Jay Santiago.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Albuquerque, because this is where I'm going with this one now.
Go ahead. I'm just closing the door.
In Arizona, they happen to have drone detection technology that is capable of detecting the location of the pilot up to 13 miles radius.
Yes. Yes.
And there were incidents where they were not able to detect where the pilot was.
Yes. Now, this makes you wonder. The only place that I know, or the only people that we know, can fly a drone and nobody know where the pilot is because they follow our drone. They see the drone. They use triangulation, I think it's called.
Well, they have equipment right now that
Triangulation they
anything.
use to spot your radio, your drone, and satellite to tell where you are. They could not tell where this person was within 13 miles. Military, maybe?
Well, see what makes that so strange now, like going back into what I'm saying now, how they have in the article says
Albuquerque said, what if the pilot was in the air? They should still be able to triangulate because it's the satellite, it's the drone, it's a triangle. It's the satellite, drone, pilot, and there's your triangle.
Well, however the system works, they should have been able to detect it, but apparently, like, there was one gentleman I was listening to in an interview, going back again to Geek Spot, the interview that does this for a living, and he was saying that they use several different types of software because not there isn't any one that is perfect all the time for every single drone. So
yes, cell towers too.
They use several different types of detection devices. Now, the article says that in the incidents that took place, 3 of them are listed as open, still open. They don't know who the hell it was. The case is still open. Now, of those cases, 5 of them are closed and resolved, which means that they found out what was going on, everything they knew about that incident.
Right.
49 of the incidents are closed, unresolved, which means that 85% of the incidents that they've had around these power plants in the country,
they don't know what the hell's going on.
They don't know what was going on.
Well, that's the same thing with the missile silos that they claim 10, 15, 20 drones were flying back and forth in different directions and nobody in different shapes, some shaped like triangles, some shaped like squares, some round, some sounding louder than others. So either we're about to be invaded by a highly advanced technology of drones, or somebody's launching them from some damn where. And like Corey Mano says, okay, you can launch a drone without radio link. All you have to do is set waypoints in it and cut your radio off. It will go and do what it's supposed to and come back, hypothetically. But Corey Mano, we're talking drones that vary in size, shape, and sound, meaning there are multiple types.
Yeah, they didn't say it was any one specific.
Yeah. And that's the same issue with what was happening in the Midwest. If you notice, the government and the news kind of hush-hushed that story because they never said what happened, what was the result of that. They said the FAA is investigating and the United States government is investigating. Both the FAA and the United States government came back and said they know nothing about these drones. Now somebody's fucking lying.
Well, it's funny because there was also sightings at Perry, nuclear power
Here's the story. You guys check it out a little later
and
on.
also at Diablo Canyon in California.
But hold on, before we put the story, you still have to put the other half of the story about the how the guy says that they cannot a drone. Those cooling towers are designed to take the impact of an aircraft.
Well, yes, I mean that is something that is known because even when I was at Con Edison over by Rikers at the airport, they had told us that about the that nuclear joint they have inside there, and we were doing a fire station for it.
Go ahead, I got to mute. I got a call.
And they had said that about that thing, but I didn't feel too damn safe about that anyway. But the thing, what I don't understand, and this is something that as much as it can take a plane running into it, they're still worried about the vulnerability of the above ground pools with the spent nuclear fuel in them, because those can actually be ruptured, and now you have a problem with keeping the temperature. So anything, I don't know. I'm not an expert in these power plants, and if they have drone detection device and they can't find them, and they're complaining, and they have so many open cases or cases that were unresolved, I don't know what it could be. I don't know if it's our government. I don't know if it's UFO. Yes, Stevie, I don't know if it's UFO or what, but I guess we don't use UFO no more.
All right.
We say drone.
All right. Well, get back to me because I'm doing a live stream right now. I'll call you back. All right. All right.
Later.
Bye. Sorry about that. It's just I don't get calls all day, and then when I go live, all of a sudden people want to call, text, and everything else.
Isn't that what it's about?
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, here's the link to that story so you can read it in detail and come to your own conclusion and this is in Forbes. So, and this was published on the internet on September 7th, 2020.
Yeah.
Right now it has 52,874 views, and this is interesting. We need to pay attention to this because the fact that they're getting ready to introduce UTM testing as well as remote ID testing in New York and Virginia. They're going to be doing this, okay, starting December 31st. It's real interesting that all over the country, nuclear plants and missile silos are being flown by drones. Now, you know as well as I do, Herman, if that was my Phantom 4 Pro or your Phantom 4 Pro or your Phantom 3 Standard or my Mavic Pro, that shit would have got zapped, shot, anything.
No, they'd have been knocking on my door already.
Just knocking on your door. You wouldn't be doing this live stream now.
I told you what happened with my neighbor.
Yeah.
With his cyber piracy. They dragged him and the computer and his whole family out.
Anyway, check out that story, though. They took him and his computer?
And the whole family.
And the whole family. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Sorted out downtown.
They don't play. Give me a second. I'm just going to run and get something to drink out of the fridge.
The KB. I'll be right here. Yeah, so what do you guys think? I mean, is it alien? Is it military? What you think? I don't know, Stevie. I don't think it was a UFO. I just think that maybe sometimes some of that technology that they have, I mean, I would hope that a power station would be better than that, but stranger things have happened.
This is true. Even a scientist saw one on Route 9 on the way to work, police, etc.
Because I don't even want to get into some of the stranger things that have happened here in the United States, but
this is true.
But
this is very, very true. But anyway,
I'd like
getting back to that story, I'm gonna try and stay on top of that because I'm interested to know, because they already hush the missile silo incident. Okay, we don't know if they're still seeing drones out there or what.
You know what, Corey? You're probably right, because that's always the case whenever somebody wants to carry out something. And that's what they always do. They always use a platform of the fair
Yeah,
or
let's
something
hope
that
that's
they
not
could,
the case. Let's
yeah,
seriously hope that's not the case.
because that's been happening. Why do you think no one's ever stepped in, and said anything
Here
about
in New York, Herman, you remember that the Parks Department lady told us, oh,
it?
y'all can't fly here. They'll take your drones. She was more scared for us than we were.
Well, what I mean by it is like the fear of the drone itself, you know, they created a healthy fear of the
Hey,
people
Akarasho,
flying around.
we live in a time of stranger things, and drones are certainly stranger things. I agree. But come on, man. Now the fearmonger society
Yeah, but
is,
that's part of it. And I don't think that the drones are really that strange. It might have been strange 10 years
yeah,
ago.
that's true, Sean.
So,
That's true. Not Sean, Stevie. Sean did a video on some of the new tech tested in the US,
mhm.
and people witnessed the government covered up a lot of stuff. Oh, come on. Our government covers up stuff. Nah.
Come on, come on,
No.
come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you
What are you
talking
talking
about?
about?
That's ludicrous.
No, but seriously, I don't know what it could be. And you'll probably never know. But I know who will get the blame for it.
Yeah, right. You mean to tell me we've started a fifth part of our United States protection called
Mm,
the Space Force,
right.
and they can't find a drone over a
Flying
nuclear
right, yeah.
plant? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you could orbit
just like, remember the story we did on the drone, on the
87.
drone shuttle that stayed up for 748 days, and nobody knew it was up there circling the
Right.
Earth.
That could be up there that long, but you didn't see what drone was.
Right. They launched it
Power
to
station.
show you how the government doesn't cover things up. They said they were launching a SpaceX rocket with satellites on it, and they sent
Yeah,
the
you would
drone
have
up.
their name.
A drone that's only 39 feet long or something like that, that can handle 2 to 4 men. They sent it up in space for 748 days. That's well over a year. It did missions, it did all kinds of things. It docked with the space station, it did all of this stuff via control from the United States. Okay. And then they landed it back on Earth and said, oh, we had that up there for 700 something days. We just forgot to tell you.
Yeah, so we did mention you were talking about drone tech, and that
Mm-hmm.
you had
Oh,
done
you say drone tech and Geek Spawner shows up.
yeah, I know, like he's got a stake in it. So he heard his name. He said he was in the back hanging out. He heard his name.
Who was reporting the story could have just been the plant workers doing their job, surveying the plant for issues. Well, you know what? I have the article here. I posted it,
Yeah,
and
check out
they
the
do
article you
not
did for.
have actual pictures, but they have a chart, a list of drone incidents obtained from the NRC. Um, only goes up to October and does not indicate something. Oh, the National Regulatory Commission.
Yeah, told you. That's where the information came from.
Right. So
But that was also when they had.
check it out at this link. Geek Spawner, get on that story, man. I'm sure you could dig in. Just show your press pass.
Walk right up in the plant.
Rasho says, as far as Space Force is concerned, think of the source. I'm
What,
trying
Space
not to
Force?
laugh, but yes, I agree with
Well,
you.
I mean, don't they own that that plane you were just talking about? 'Cause
And and
we
and
did the article. We did a
and
thing
we did the Starlink issue.
about
We did the Starlink story where Elon Musk wants to put a grid first starting over the United States. Right now, he's building it.
that's for Wi-Fi.
Okay, and it's stationary, which means it's moving all over the earth. There's no way in the world you can't tell me them satellites aren't collecting information from all over the world until they get that grid set up where they'll leave it stationary over the United States.
They're scanning your bank cards.
Listen,
No,
yeah,
but
for you guys, let me see.
you're still gonna have to pay for Wi-Fi in your house.
Go ahead, hold it. I have to show you how I've been staying on top of this story with Starlink. Okay,
Oh, okay.
Starlink. We'll get back to the drone news. Starlink is a satellite system that will eventually be able to be seen on a clear night from Earth. You'll be able to look up and see squares. And first, you'll just see lines. And then, when he creates the grid, you'll actually see squares in the sky. That's Elon Musk, Mr. Tesla himself. Okay. And this link right here shows the track of Starlink, and at certain times you'll be able to tell where, if it's over us or whatever. But it's a series of satellites, and every time they go up, they launch. Every time SpaceX goes up, they add another satellite to that grid.
Do they?
Okay, so check this out. You can even track it, and I think that page will let you predict when it may be coming over. It can predict passes. That's what it is, and it has something to do with your location. But that's more stuff that we were talking about way back when, just to let you guys know. And it's all intertwined because eventually you're going to hear a lot of sightings in the sky. People are going to look up and they're going to, I see a line shooting across the
They're
sky,
not
and it's
even
not
going
going to
to
be a
worry
line.
about it as long as they got Wi-Fi on their phone.
What happened?
They're not going to worry about it as long as they got Wi-Fi on their phone out in the street.
They won't care, right? They won't even look up. Have to change his accent. Oh, Geeks Vano have to change his accent to get into the meat, get to the meat of the story. I'm quite sure he could sound like a Yank when he wants to.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
We can give you some lessons, sure. But yeah, we started talking earlier about U.S. made drones. Drones being made in America, and this whole race to everybody.
In America?
The whole campaign of made in America.
Sorry.
Yeah, the whole campaign. But this came about here. I saw the thing on YouTube, and then I went to
Corey Mano's funny. He says they're creating the grid so Roger, Canadian Drone Hub, could get faster internet.
So everybody can get faster internet.
Well, believe it or not, that is the intention of that grid.
They're going
to supply internet to the world.
It's in your house.
This is America. Yeah.
This is it was supposedly this drone I don't know if you've ever heard, forget about the drone thing, but I'm getting there with this, but I don't know if you ever heard of Watts Innovations.
I didn't until you sent me the story.
Oh, okay.
I have not heard of the company until you sent me the story.
Actually, it's a pretty young dude. That's the guy that's I guess he's the guy in charge over there. But I saw an interview with him. But after I saw the little video that they have for the promo, because I was on their on Watts Innovations page went to Googled them and checked out what they had to offer, and they have this thing that I was looking for in their article called the PRISM.
I like it. I already told you I like that shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a drone. It's
AJ Santiago.
Wow. It's a nice drone. They claim that it's all U.S. made.
All right. Well, you can talk while I show this video. This way. Yeah, this way, that'll kill two birds with one stone.
It's designed, built here in the U.S., right? Now, they have two versions of it. And no, they actually have one version of it, but there are two propulsion systems.
Yes.
One is a quad system where they have a maximum takeoff weight of 35 pounds and a dry weight without battery of 16 pounds.
Yes.
Now, the maximum payload
there she goes.
5 pounds, right? Battery required, two 12S.
Two 12S or 4 6-cell batteries.
No, actually it's two 12S, 8,000 or 16,000 milliamp hour packs.
Wow.
Now,
basically it's carrying a small bomb.
Maximum flight time is 10 to 45 minutes, depending on the payload and the batteries that are being used.
Yep.
Maximum speed on this thing is 60 miles per hour. Then the propellers on it are 28 inches. Now the coaxial 8.
That's the one on the right side right here. I paused the video. This one here, it has 8 props. I like this baby here with the 4.
Now they're the same drone. Now this is what makes this so beautiful.
Yes, yes. Check this out, guys.
This thing has what they call propulsion detection ID.
Listen, repeat that.
Propulsion detection ID, which means this drone here, by releasing one screw and popping out the arms, you can pop in the other arms and the drone will detect which arms and you have on the drone and the motors that you have.
Right, and we got to explain that because it comes with, see how these 2 motors are set right there? Here's the single motor, here's the double motors.
Right.
So you have one body.
And that's the
hold on. Let me get back. Oh, here it is right here. See how changing the arm? You can upgrade your drone from the single prop to the double prop by just connecting the arms.
Exactly. From
smart technology
to the coaxial 8. This thing will recognize that you change the propulsion system on it.
And for maintenance purposes, you can just take out one arm and put in a brand new arm. To hell with getting props.
They made it. Yeah, not to cut you off, but they've made this drone to where is that you don't have to send it back to the manufacturer to change these things or to fix these things.
Yep.
Everything is plug and play on it.
Yes, this is enough I'm going to show on it right there.
Everything is plug and play on it. Now, what I thought was interesting was the maximum weight, payload or takeoff weight with this with the coaxial 8 is 55 pounds.
Yes, Corey, it does know which way to spin the motors.
Yes. And now the dry weight on it without battery was 18 pounds. And the maximum payload is 25 pounds.
Yes.
And nothing else changes.
Right. Now, check this out. What I really like about it is you have one drone. There are only 2 versions. The one with the quad, they call it quad because it only has 4 motors. And then the one with the hex or the X8 times 8. That's with the double motors each side. Now, say I have the quad because I can only afford the quad. I can save up for the arms without buying a new drone. Just save up for the arms and just take them out and plug them in. And the drone will say, hey, these are quad, these are the 8 arms. You know, these are the double motor arms. Let me adjust my PIDs, rates, and everything to fly this way.
Yeah, it's a smart.
And it has a drop box you can put under it too to carry up to a 5-pound package.
Well, see, now here's what I thought was interesting. Some of the things I thought was interesting about this. We're talking about this has Cube Flight Controller, so it's an open source.
Yep, open source. Love open source.
It uses what they call the Watts QGC app on what they call the Echo Sky Mobile, which is a 7-inch Android-based tablet controller with a 5-hour battery on that. Interesting.
Yes.
Now you talked about the cargo setup. Once again, it's plug and play.
Yes, everything is plug and play on the bird, not just not just the arms.
Yes, that it knows that you have the cargo bay on the bottom, and it has what they call a mist. So what happens is you set the tank in there. It's a 2.5-gallon tank, and you attach the sprayers to the arm, and it calibrates itself. And
it knows how far to spray the mist over the crops it's flying. So if the rows are thin, it's not going to spray out in a 3-foot radius. If the rows are thin, it's going to spray in a 2-foot radius to cover that plant. That's ingenious.
And for safety,
America made.
And for safety, you can
America made
plug and play the parachute. Now let's get to talking about the camera setup for this thing. This is what I thought was interesting to me with this.
Welcome back.
It can It can, if your gimbal setup, it can use almost any gimbal setup. And if your gimbal setup can be powered with either on its own, or it can draw from the what they have on the HDMI setups on it. And it also has what was the other setups that they said on it there, Lawrence? Did you have that information on that other thing? I can't.
No, I did. I'm actually on their
But
site,
you
and
can
I'm like,
actually plug in, and it can power your own gimbal from something else,
yes.
and work this. Because in the interview that I was listening to him, he mentioned that it could actually work the DJI gimbal.
If it has an
Yeah.
HDMI plug or a USB-C plug, I believe you can operate, and the camera operates that way. It can operate and control that gimbal for it.
Now he was also saying that if it had its own power source, that even better.
Yeah.
But
I was in awe because I went to their page, right? I do know Watts Innovation. You know why? Because they're one of the companies that we did a story on that carries the heavy Hollywood cameras. And it's the MFD 5000, the ultimate heavy lift drone, our first mass market aircraft. And once I saw a picture of it, I'm like, wait a minute.
Now
That's the one they use in Hollywood.
This one here folds up. The arms
Yes, the prism folds away
and goes into a box that has a rolling case that comes with it.
Yep, the case
that
holds everything.
Controller that they have looks kind of
DJI-ish.
No, it's interesting. It's a little wide, but I'd have to check out the feel of it. But this is not something in the consumer base. Once again,
this is sad but true. Go ahead and burst my bubble. Go ahead. Come on, talk numbers.
This is for working. This is for cinematic. Use LiDAR inspections. Mapping. This thing, you can put your mirrorless camera on this.
Just let me know what a common folk I am.
Oh, well, they're taking pre-orders now if anybody's interested.
Yes, but listen to the price. If you're interested in a quad, that's only the 4-engine one, or you're interested in the X8.
I'm taking pre-orders right now.
Yes, we will forward all pre-orders to Watts Innovation.
Right, I'm taking all pre-orders right now. No, but on their site, they're taking pre-orders for this thing.
How much is a down payment?
$2,500.
Yeah, 2,500 is a down payment. That's just a pre-order. Either one.
Right. That's what they're asking for pre-order, $2,500. But for the quad, let's just say it's 20 grand.
Yeah.
Because $19,999 is 20 grand.
Is the quad version. $19,999.
Right, and the coaxial is $22,999. So that's like 20.
The X8 coaxial.
That's 23 grand.
So basically,
and mind you, you don't have a camera on that yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's just a drone without a camera.
Right, no gimbal.
Can you imagine get that drone and attach a GoPro to it?
With tape.
See this big drone coming in Hollywood style, pull up next to the car, and you get a close-up on the camera, and it's a GoPro. $20,000 drone, and you got a GoPro on it because you can't afford a camera.
Yeah, when I saw this, I
digress.
I like this drone, but once again, it's not.
I do too. If you guys want to check this drone out, and you want to check out the Hollywood version that they have, at this link right here, the quad and the X8 are on this page, but their heavy lift drone, if you go to aircraft on the page, is the MFD.
Yeah.
And I only use my own acronyms for it, which I can't say now, but MFD 5000.
That what we were talking about, the remote there, the Echo Sky Mobile.
Desmond says he's in for 20K. He wants one in red.
Well, you're gonna have to make it your own color, but
Well, being that the arms are plug and play, you could probably paint them because
Yeah,
it's totally carbon fiber.
yeah, it's all plug and play.
Yeah, so you could probably tape off all the ports and spray paint it red or
And you
airbrush it
get
red.
a gimbal for your mirrorless camera, put right on there and go.
Yeah, but check out the link. It shows this bird in
Hey, drone shots, what's going
production. Well, you can pre-order the Prism. The MFD is already out there. Okay, that's
on?
already
Yeah.
out there. But I like the design of it. The fact that it carries two 12S batteries.
Now you can mount the batteries on the top or the bottom with this drone.
Yes, yes, depending on your cargo, you can
This
plug and play a box in the bottom to drop something at someone or
right.
deliver something, or you can put any type of camera you want, FLIR system. If it
That was
uses
the only drawback.
HDMI or USB, which means you could take your Canon and attach it to this sucker and go. You
Yes,
could take your Nikon or whatever and
yes,
attach it, and it'll be able to handle it. Now,
yes.
I don't know about the gimbal for it. You probably have to get a custom gimbal, but
No, they have gimbals for it.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they do because I'm looking at the pictures here where it says application cinema. It carries cinema cameras, which are heavy, LiDAR cameras, inspection and mapping cameras, spraying, and cargo. So it can do all of these things quite nicely with no problem.
Yeah, you can fit a
For a
whole
mere
inside that
20 grand.
cargo spot.
And if you look at the qualifications, I'm looking at it. Maximum takeoff weight is 35 pounds on the quad. If you get the X8 coaxial X8, maximum takeoff weight is 55 pounds.
Right, that's at the limit.
Dry weight without batteries, the X8 is 18, the quad is 16. You did these numbers. Max payload for the quad is only 5 pounds. Max payload for the coaxial 8 is 25 pounds.
Yeah. Now, flight characteristics all remain the same.
Yes, yes. Now, flight time 10 minutes to 45 minutes, dependent upon payload and battery size. And it
Right.
says this for both drones. But whether it's up in the air for 10 minutes or 45 minutes, it still does 60 miles an hour. That's what I like. You see this thing
Now, for you
back and
guys
forth.
that fly DJI, the only drawback on this thing is we're talking about 3 miles of video and data transmission.
Hey, drone shots. I have another
Sorry.
body for my Inspire V1.
Sorry,
I'm
it's
going to
only 3
paint it
miles.
up and put DEA on it, drone enforcement agents. I enforce people to fly drones.
You hear me, Lawrence? For
What?
you guys that fly DJI, I'm sorry. It only has 3 miles of video and data transmission.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 3 miles, but think about it. I don't know if I want to fly that thing further than a certain distance away from me. It costs $20,000. That thing goes down, I'm gonna have a stroke right there. Hey, what's up, big man?
Where did you find the pilot? Yeah, he was unconscious in the park.
He's having heart
We
palpitations.
had to get the paramedics to take him away. He was uttering something about my drone went down.
20K down.
She's not gonna let me back in the house.
20 grand, my wife's gonna kick my ass. Hey, check out that link, Big Mac. I like the quad. The X8 is a little much, but that quad,
That's what when
it's
you
nice.
get in
You missed the story, but interchangeable arms. You can buy the cheaper version and just plug and play the arms from the higher version, and it changes the PIDs and everything, ready to go out the box. Oh, and you can take a parachute and bolt it on, and it will recognize that it has a parachute on it. We forgot to
It's
mention
all
that
plug
fact
and play.
too.
Everything for it is all plug and play.
Everything is plug and play. That's true. The parachute.
Like it says, you can even adapt other, different brands of
I
gimbals
need a fan. Shit, I'm getting
and
hot.
different types of cameras. So yes, you can connect your mirrorless camera to this and fly around with it. I mean, it should be able to carry the weight.
This is
I
true.
shouldn't have any problem with that. when you're talking about the maximum takeoff weight of 35 pounds on a quad, with it being able
Albuquerque Phantom Flight novice, you guys need to set up a Discord so we can have a private convos amongst ourselves. Albuquerque, I was on Discord with Project Zen, an FPV group. Dude, those because Discord, people are on it all around the world talking FPV at night, middle of the night. My phone's lighting up like I'm in a club. It's dark, the lights blinking, and it's because guys, when I go to bed, I wake up the rooster. I get up 3, 4 in the morning. Sleeping in for me is 5:36. All right, and to have lights blinking on and off. I was in this group on Discord, man. They talk and they talk and they talk. There's somebody will say, "Who's up?" And then all of a sudden you get from around the world, me. So I had to get off Discord.
Hey, Lawrence, let me ask you a question. Did that come from being threatened that if you don't go to bed, Santa Claus won't bring you anything?
No.
Oh.
No. No. I didn't realize this, but when I was a young kid, my grandfather was brainwashing me and I had no idea.
Oh,
he would come home drunk every night. And you know, back in the day, drunk meant you came home twisty. All right. Yeah. And every morning, no matter how drunk he was the night before, because he had 7 children and his wife, he would get up. There were 2 breakfast shifts. He would get up at 4 and have breakfast done by 5:30 in the morning for people who had to get out of the house early. And then my grandmother, and I used to sit there with him and we would talk and he showed me a lot of tricks. He showed me his dandelion wine recipe. And I didn't know it till I was older, that everything that he showed me and told me in the process, he was telling me how to freaking make it. But when I was young. So then I get older and when he passed, we found bottles of wine that he made in the refrigerator. And I was like, everyone was like, wow, he never passed that recipe on to anyone. And I went, I stayed quiet because it dawned on me. He showed me how to make this stuff. But he used to get up, to make a long story short, he used to get up at crack in the morning, man. No matter how drunk he was the night before, and make breakfast and talk with me and stand there and cook with the Chesterfield filterless cigarette in his mouth and on the ashtray. You remember back then, but you could smoke in a restaurant sitting next to someone who didn't smoke. Yes, please hit that like button. We appreciate it very much.
You know what I find is funny about that?
Huh. Here's my Bluetooth. I took it off.
For as long as I can remember, I've had asthma. And if you ask my father what happened, my father will tell you that I got asthma because my grandfather would sit there with his cigars, puffing away, steady, didn't care if I was sitting there wheezing or not.
Listen, I believe that's why I had asthma as a child. Watching a Mets game, sitting on this side of my grandfather, on this side, he had a cigarette in his hand around me, holding me. He had a Schaefer beer, and he would smoke filterless cigarettes, one after another, put it out, smoke another one. And I was sitting on his lap watching the Mets game. So I was smoking with him and didn't know.
My grandfather smoked cigars and pipe.
Wow.
In the house.
And then me being, hey, what's up above and beyond? And on top of that, not to mention, then I started smoking at 12, 13 years old. So wonder why I have COPD second stage, right?
You were smoking from then.
Yeah, it was already in my blood. That's why it was so easy to pick up one.
But I don't know, Lawrence. I didn't find anything else exciting out there in the drone news industry. Still waiting on this.
Well, I do have a little bit of FPV news, and it concerns Geeks Vana, because I don't know if you saw his video today.
Yes.
But he's going to have a new video to come out called FPV Wednesdays.
Yes.
And he featured my Miami Vice chase, the one I was chasing the boat. He featured that and a bunch of other FPV pilots. So if you fly FPV, Get your footage, and he's looking for 30-second clips, 45-second, 1-minute clips. Get them in the Geeks Vana, and
He wants
you
the
may
whole
get up on FPV Wednesdays. In fact, to show you how serious I am about it, I have right here. If I
40
go
clips
home,
sent to him.
I have 2 videos ready to upload to him right now in my Google Drive. These 2, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, I got 3. 1, 2, 3, ready to upload to Geeks Fauna for FPV Wednesdays. So catch up. Wow, I went out and left the live stream. Oh, we're back.
I'm here.
We're back. But anyway,
What they said, no snow days this year?
yes, Geeks Vana, check out his page. And by the way, Geeks Sean, when is Ken Herring going to put you on payroll? Because you might as well be. Yes, after the show, though. Yes. And I'm only asking, when is he going to put you on payroll? Because you do an outstanding job as a moderator for his live stream. And that pre-spin up show you did, I think was the best show you've done yet. The best live stream you've done yet.
Well, it was different for sure. And
But then again, I'm leaning more towards FPV Wednesdays. I mean, not that you showed one of my clips, but it was really nice. It was.
now he's gonna ham it up.
What happened?
He's gonna ham it up. He's got 3 videos ready to go. Look at him.
Yeah, I'm doing like Paul now. I'm sending them to his ass right now.
It's Sean.
Geeks Vana, I'm gonna send them to you on Facebook. I just needed Google Drive to clear them.
Let him choose which ones he wants.
Right, that's why I'm sending him 3, so he can actually pick out of those.
He might want to put other people on.
Well, I mean, I'm in no rush, but he'll always have something in stock. You know, he'll always have something in stock from me.
Okay.
That's it. You got to think about the future. You know.
Did you send him the one where you was at the Empire State Building?
Who?
You.
I was never at the Empire State Building. I didn't hear, I could barely hear what you were saying, but Empire State Building to me, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I really don't. Okay, let's make this link shareable so I can send it to Sean.
Sean. You too cool for school?
Who?
Sean. He said he was too cool for school.
I don't know what you're talking about. As he said, what you talking about, Willis?
But this is just one of the many drones there of the drones that's out there that, we've mentioned a few of them that's made in the USA. This one supposedly is made here, designed here, built here, whichever one you want to call it, built, made. Right. But it's all here. That story there on the nuclear sites, I don't know about that.
Here you go. Here you go, Geeks Vana. Here's the 3rd one. Let me know after you download them or which ones you keep so I can empty out my Google Drive. I don't like keeping it full in case I need to upload something really quick. Remove this. All right. All right, I'm done. That's it. I'm back in the chat. FPV, the historic landmark.
I need to remove some stuff out of it too.
Lawrence was leaning on the car hood. I didn't see that. I was in another window.
What?
Thank you. Thank you. What happened?
The one at the Empire State Building?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. And with that, I'll have another sip.
Lawrence, I was going to tell you, this Saturday is a national holiday.
This Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it Yom Kippur, the Jewish New Year or something? Well, my boss mentioned it. That's why we were doing we were working so hard today. Why you look at me like that? Because I know when Jewish holidays are coming up, he a lot of his clients are Jewish. So a
Steve,
lot,
you hear this,
I
Stevie?
think it starts Friday night going into Saturday.
I said Saturday.
Okay. Well, after Friday night is Saturday.
Well, anyway.
Okay.
This-
What
No,
happened?
Saturday is my birthday, so
Yes, I know. I know.
we celebrate.
That's the real holiday he was getting at. I was just messing with him. I already have it on the calendar. FYI, Saturday's Herman's birthday. Herman's face when you said that, exactly. You saw that, right, Stevie?
So on Sunday, so on Sunday you could do your little drop of the shot.
Oh yeah, we can do that because you'll still be partying from Saturday.
There won't be a separation between Saturday and Sunday. I'm
Okay.
up late.
Yeah, that's true.
So, well, anyway, as far as the drone news is concerned, I don't know if anything else is out there. You found anything else going on out there? And like I said, DJI is supposed to be getting ready to drop this new they're dropping a new gimbal, right? For
When are they right? The Ronin, but
yeah, that
everyone thinks that their launch that they're having coming up is a new drone, and I haven't seen any FCC licensing
and
applied for by DJI. So until I see that, I refuse to believe that they're coming out with a drone, and that Ronin is the only thing that Ronin gimbal, that
yeah,
gimbal for the Ronin or its name Ronin, whatever, is the only thing that I know that's
for
coming up.
October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything else.
Yes, I'm looking
Unless they
for
think something's supposed to be coming out in November.
there's a story here, but it's overseas and I don't know the validity of it. I'm gonna have to copy and paste it and run it through Google and see what comes up. But there's supposed to be a company over in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know how we have Mack trucks here, MAC trucks, you know, Mack trucks.
Yeah.
Well, over there they have a company as large called FAW J Fang,
Mm-hmm.
and they have just installed into put in an order for mass production of autonomous driving heavy trucks.
Okay.
So they're picking up from us here in the United States. Tom mentioned the other night
It's already
that there are
going.
a lot of autonomous trucks tractor trailers driving here in the United States already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of them in the Midwest, thank goodness, where it's just long straight roads.
They don't have anyone on this truck.
Supposedly they don't, from what Tom was saying, but this company, the world's leading lidar manufacturer, announced that it has reached the important cooperation with FAW Fang, the world's largest heavy-duty truck sales owner. They are building autonomous trucks.
I get it, but who regulates the payload?
Who regulates the payload?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's true. How does it see a random truck stop? And how does it know if the cop wants it to pull over and be weighed?
I mean, understandable, but what those things can be figured out. I'm just saying, like, okay, let's say I'm supposed to drop off 3 skids by you and then 4 skids at another location. What's the stop when I get by you with this this driverless truck and you be like, clean them out?
Yeah, right. Could you imagine? Very valid point there. Very valid
I don't
point.
know how
What's
the
to
system
stop? In
works.
other words, what's to stop them from taking an extra skid or two?
Yeah, I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I guess these would have to be one-stop trucks. Once it gets there, you just unload the baby because multiple stops, I don't think is a good idea.
Clean them out.
Or you could say that it was damaged and you put it back on the truck and kept it.
Or tell them, yeah, you got the load. Go ahead.
Right, and nothing's on the truck. Nothing's on the truck. Well, it
Bricks.
says Farjang's new J7L3 smart car equipped with Livix Horizon car level LiDAR debuted at the second FER Ecological Partner Get Conference, meaning that they just launched the thing. But these heavy duty trucks, I'll just show really quick
But
what
you
one of
do
them.
know that even like with your regular street car, like the car knows when someone's sitting in the seat.
Yeah. Well, I assume if you're supposed to put on 3,000 pound screw for a ship, one of them giant bolts,
Mm-hmm.
3,000 pounds, the truck could probably sense that that's on there. That would I'm assuming so. To try and tell them, oh, okay, we put our cargo on, the truck would be like, yeah, come on, buddy, stop playing.
Well, you remember when the VCRs first came out and no one could afford them, and a lot of people was like,
True, right?
VCR, bro. And then you'd buy one and get home, it's a box of bricks.
I've seen so many. I've seen and heard so many stories pertaining to that. That's almost scary.
No, I'm just saying that, I don't know how the system works. I'm quite sure that those are things that are in place and that it can read that and they know exactly what kind of weight it should have as opposed to the truck's weight.
Yeah, everything's by weight now. Everything's by weight now. In fact, that's almost an RFID with handle payload.
But if it's not able to see,
Drone says he wants an AI motorhome.
okay,
Go to sleep, wake up in Florida, either there or jail. If that thing hits somebody and you're still asleep when they do clean it out, God forbid. Hey, AZ drone dude.
I can see it now blowing through the toll spots with what they have to have easy pass on it.
Uh-huh. They've been chasing this guy from the East Coast, blowing through tolls like he owned them. And all he did was set it to not stop at tolls.
Got the easy pass going on.
Yeah, right. Or you can, gotta run. Thanks for coming in, Rasho.
Thank you. Thanks.
We appreciate you coming in, man, always.
Lawrence, with something like that, yeah, you can get that, lay back and let it go, and you could make your way down the floor. I'm quite sure it'll probably take longer than you pushing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't know if you can set it to exceed the speed limit like that.
No, I'm pretty sure.
And come back down, and it's gonna stay at a steady pace, won't it?
And somehow, if you've noticed,
if you sleep,
the technology for self-driving cars is already here in New York, and you've probably noticed it also. When you're driving, if you look at the street lights and see like a beige box pointed at the road, those boxes are supposed to contain all types of information. For one, they can track you wherever you go because they have one at every street lamp. So if you make a left here, they know he made a left in so-and-so street at so-and-so time. But they're supposed to work in conjunction with smart cars and Google Maps and all of that stuff, which, by the way, Google Maps is updated. You remember they used to have the car with the little spinny thing on top, really fast? Yeah, well, one went through my neighborhood the other day. They've gotten rid of those cars, and it's one box with
I saw one the other day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cameras on top of it, and a little tall, thin box.
Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Oh, you saw one out by you too? Yes.
Yeah. If you go on Google Maps, right, and you go around the corner from here, my car is parked right there.
Get out! But that picture's like Google Maps is usually a year to 2 years old. You serious?
I had the car for some time.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, for terrorist reasons, since 9/11, Google Maps is usually a year. Hey, Cardoso Medias, what's good, man? How are you? For terrorist purposes, they've made Google Maps a year to 2 years off.
It might be a few years.
Hey, look who woke up.
Like who? Oh,
look who woke up. Google. You say Google, and it's supposed to be. Watch this. It's supposed to be okay, Google. Now I don't want to do it, but when I say Google, it's these damn phones, man.
My phone doesn't say anything. It doesn't do anything.
I'm wondering where the hell my Bluetooth is.
Unless I don't want it to do anything.
Well, see, only when I have the Bluetooth on, it's supposed to do it. But
Now,
sometimes I'd be talking or I'll have it in my pocket and it'll just activate.
I have a problem with this phone. Now, check this nonsense out. I call Samsung, right?
Yeah.
Talk to them about the issue. They did some troubleshooting. They did this little thing here. And of course, the phone worked while I'm on the phone with them. It did what it was supposed to do. Now it's not doing it again. So I call them back again for the third time. You know what the lady says to me? Oh, we have a Samsung store in New York that you can take the phone down to the store.
Later, Jack Sparky. Thanks for coming. She said, what?
He said there's a Samsung store here in New York that I can take the phone to and let them check it out. I said, okay, no problem. So she said, oh, but they are closed to coronavirus. I'm like, okay, so now what do I do? She goes, well, you can go over to Garden City with the phone. I'm like, Garden City? I want to check this out. We got to figure out something else. So she goes, okay, well, we'll send you a thing to send the phone back to them. I said, so what phone do I use now? She goes, I'm sorry that we don't have replacement phones.
Wow.
I said, what do I do about a phone until you send it back?
That sucks. Have a good evening, Jack Sparky.
If they can give you one. I'm like, let me get this straight. You want me to go ask the carrier to give me a replacement phone?
And the only replacement phones that they give you are usually lesser than what you had.
Regardless, they want me to go ask the carrier for a replacement phone because the carrier is not going to fix it. They're going to fix it.
Wow.
That's going to go over real well.
The carrier is going to be like, yeah,
walking out of there with two phones in my hand.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening at all.
I don't know anybody that's ever done it, but if you did, let me know.
I went flying around the Bronx this morning. That smoke had the sky looking different. Yes, for those of you who don't know, the fires that are going on the West Coast have reached New York City yesterday. And the sky actually has an orange haze to it. And that has to do with not the sun going down, but you was in the air by 6:40 and the sky was probably orange. Totally. I could believe that if you said so, because right now I'm looking and the sky, you know how it's blown out? It's usually like a grayish white. It has an orange haze to it. And that is the pollution all the way from the West Coast, not the pollution, the smoke.
Yeah. Smoke.
Bedtime catch. Yeah, Desmond Donders, man. Thank you so much for coming in, bro. We appreciate you. You know this all the time. We love the support. We appreciate the support from each and every one, even you lurkers lurking.
But I don't know if you guys, if anybody got to check out Spin Up. I know it was last week Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, it was a nice little event. I mean, it was a few hours on the computer, but it was fun. Like you mentioned earlier, Sean kicked it off, and it took off with Kelly and a few of the guys talking on, was it B from Droner? Yeah, he was there. Ken Herron. They gave away some prizes and stuff like that. They had a few guest video appearances where I know Russ from 51 Drones.
Okay.
He talked a little bit about remote ID and how guys should be out flying and when they go out, the presence that they should make when they're out flying. Mm-hmm. Trying to keep a professional setup, to make us, make the hobby and the industry look good, and it also, it also takes away from the bad eye that it actually gets, and sometimes, and like I've noticed with here when we have the radios on,
yeah,
we've set up our location and our little perimeter.
Uh-huh.
People actually think we're working.
Yeah, a lot of times.
But, there was one incident where people thought we were actually working for the police department, and because we were talking with the guys from the parks department, and once we set up,
yeah,
people were like, you guys are watching the people to make sure they keep their social distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, JSK, you know what it is? I'm sorry. Hey, Welcome, JSK.
What's
What
up?
it is that because we maintain a professional mannerism, we're not out. We're also not out there. Yo, man, I'm gonna get that building over there. You know, we don't do that. We handle ourselves professionally. We get in, we get out. We
Well,
communicate with radios, and that's you. I spot for you, you spot for me, or
right.
we free fly. It depends if it's something for hire, one spots for the other. If it's recreational, sometimes one still spots the other.
Well, you know what it is too. The thing is, if both drones are up in the air, our chatter is basically about location and altitude and what you want to do. Where are you going from where you're standing?
Yeah.
What is it that you're trying to do now? So that way I don't move into that area or into your altitude. You know, that's the one thing that we do. We fly together and we try to, pass it on.
This
And
is why you need to get your ass in therapy and be tap dancing by the new year.
I'm in therapy, but like they
I
said,
know, I know, but by New Year you need to be. Ta-da-da. I'm just saying, man. I want you to get back on your feet, man, so we can get back to flying. Because I was getting into the FPV thing and kind of strayed away. Now that I have the FPV thing down comfortably, I'm slowly trying to introduce. Remember, I told you I'm gonna buy a brand new Phantom 4 Pro controller. I
okay.
decided I'm tired of getting used shit, yo. Want something new just for once.
Matt was
That's
just
just
waiting.
one time, something new, you
Matt
know,
was just waiting.
huh?
Matt was just waiting to type that. Waiting.
Pusa Studios, what's
Hey
up?
Andrew, what's good,
What's
man?
up, Andrew? Sorry you're not chatting, but listening. Hope we're doing well, Novice and Phantom, and cheers to all in the chat from Pusa Studios.
Hey,
We
thank
miss you, Andrew. You
you.
and
Yeah,
wifey, I understand, wanted to take a sabbatical, which is actually good because it gives people a chance to miss you.
yes, yes.
That's why, and that's not why Herman and I are not on every live stream. The fact that we're not on every live stream, that and we don't want people to take this personal, but we have lives.
Well, I
We
don't know.
have things to do, doctor's appointments. We have family that needs tending to, and right now I'm on 3 guaranteed times a week. Okay, and I do random pop-ups on Roger's show in the morning sometimes, but I'm sorry I can't spend 8 hours a day every day on the live stream
Well,
and not get paid for it.
getting the live stream sometimes is hard because sometimes you're trying to work on things for the house. You're trying to do things. And me,
Yeah.
I'm a little stuck. But when I get back, I'm going to be on my videos and stuff like that. And I actually told you this when Corona had everyone locked in the house. I said, this is the opportunity not to be on YouTube even more, but to try to get off of it a little bit, you know what I mean? And get a little bit of your sanity
Stop
back.
and smell the roses.
Yeah. I
Took
mean,
all
even
the
though you were
summer.
stuck in the
Fall.
house,
Exactly, Cardoso.
give somebody else a shot.
Yeah,
But
and there's nothing, hey, John Coopy, and
Big John,
there's nothing wrong with being on YouTube every day and communicating every day because people are on social media every day. They're on Instagram, they're on
yeah,
TikTok, they're on Twitter every day. It's just that the time that I sit here, a lot of times I would rather be editing a video or trying to color grade something. I like doing something productive.
John, I love that last video you did, that last review
Yes, yes,
with the wood
agreed.
and the batteries and everything. He took it from A to Z.
Not a problem, Andrew. It's serious. You are a force on YouTube, and like I said, it's good to take a sabbatical, dude. And a lot of people don't understand this, but the business world does this. In the middle of doing good and production is going well, it's good to just put the brakes on for a second to see how much you want it or appreciate it, and then you get the engine rolling again. I mean, I can't say it any other way. Sometimes it's good. Make them a little thirsty. Like I've been putting out an FPV video every Monday for a while, but every now and then I'll skip a week.
Yeah,
or I'll
Sean.
skip 2 weeks. Real life just had too many demands in the last while and something had to give. Understandable. Listen, family's more important than this YouTube shit. And if wifey says I have some honey-do things, well, if I want to live here peacefully, eventually I'd have to do those honey-do things. My daughter is just going back to school remotely. All of that matters. So we totally understand, Andrew. Trust me when I tell you, real life, paying bills, running errands, um, food doesn't get in the refrigerator by itself. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
No, you're right. You're right. Going back to what I was saying about recapping and spin up, like I said, they had the whole crew there, you know, Ken Dono, he beat up the puppet and
That was funny.
poor puppet punched him in the eye.
And then dented the eye. The
Yeah,
eye had a
yeah, dented his eye.
no. See, I would like to see what happened before that because
Anger.
that was just a little clip. They did a whole segment.
Yeah, you had to watch it. The puppet was talking and he just basically he kind of the puppet. I guess they just don't get along.
They did. Yeah, they don't get along because and it was funny because when he punched it, right, the puppet just laid back like this. Yeah, I'm like, yo, they couldn't have planned that, and he did dent his eye, and he tried to fix it as he.
He said he told me he had anger issues.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So
But
now you know.
like I said before, they had also, like I said, they had a few speakers that were, from by video, and they had this one lady, Sally French. You might
Yeah.
know her from her article as Drone Girls. Drone
Hmm.
Girl. She does the article. She's also on Twitter. You
Yeah.
find her by typing in Sally French, or maybe even through typing in Drone Girl on Twitter. But she does a little article on Drone. She said her article
Hold on.
her. Yeah.
Does anyone know someone named Matt Watts?
Who?
Matt Watts.
Matt Watts.
I'm going to the profile page to see what this dude looks like. He did. I don't accept friend requests, and it's nothing personal, but I just feel my Facebook page is a little personal, and people don't get carried away. I have a lot of strong political views pointing on one side of the world, as I'll say. But he just requested me as a friend. I'm trying to see, is this an FPV guy or someone from is
Matt Watts.
Albuquerque?
That
Is is that you, Albuquerque? And I only like to know who is requesting me as a friend because I see they have a bunch of FPV guys. They have Hadley, John Santiago, Leon Nicholson, Adrian Mateo, Ling Lang. I need to contact her because that was the young lady that I told you had sent me an email and requested to be friends or
okay.
something for FPV related.
Yeah.
This account here, I need to hit her up.
Okay.
Okay, Albuquerque. It's just I'm very funny about accepting certain people as friends because like I said,
What's the other guy? The guy you were flying with out by that park there by the hospital. That's Matt.
oh Call. That's
No,
Call.
the other guy.
The other guy.
Yeah, Matt.
Oh, Matt Bell. No, that's Matt Bell. I know him.
All right, but like I was saying, Sally French was there. She was talking about brands and brand names and logos and owning your brand and things like that. Nice little thing there. Spin up was fun. It was long because it was sitting in this chair.
Yeah. I
So
was
it
wondering
might
how.
have been more fun being there. It probably would have been more fun because I guess guys would have got to go out and fly
Mm-hmm.
and not, sitting at your computer. And well, I mean, it would have been a moment where there would have been speakers and all the presentation. It wouldn't have been a video presentation. But there would have been a time where guys got to go out and hang out and you know, shoot the breeze and fly and, you know, have fun. I don't know if anybody else attended. I know a couple of guys who were here at Barnland.
You know what? The face, I'm looking through his profile, and even though he has a mask on, the face looks semi-familiar.
With a
So
mask
I'm going to
on.
ask him, who is this?
Who you might be.
Who you be?
And he's going to say me.
Who you be? I
Me.
be, you know who me be. We can keep going with that. Don't let me start drinking. Can't complain. No one wants to hear it. You know what? Above and beyond. Logan Carpenter, how are you, sir? It's coming to the
I don't
point
know what
now
happened
where
before.
you're right. If you complain, who the hell is listening? All they say are you're a grumpy old man just whimpering. Man up.
Ooh, that's how it goes.
That's what I hear.
Did you hear from Paul? I mean, he was on Roger this morning.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Paul. I have no idea, Logan Carpenter. Unfortunately, we must keep doing this.
When I get up in the morning, Roger's already on and running. What happened? Yeah, when I get on in the morning,
I need to send a text real quick.
Roger's already up and running, and Paul was there this morning. I don't know what happened to him.
I had Herman Phantom Flight 101 on Facebook. Was nice, except he insisted address him as the man, the legend, when he's messaging me. And yes, the 3 dots had to be included in the phrase, the man.
You know what? Actually,
hey, Andrew, it's his birthday Saturday. We should just go live for the hell of it. We should. I'm going to talk to some. I'm going to talk to some guys, and it's his birthday Saturday. We're going to see what's up. B Mac Ariel, how are you, sir? Only when drinking, right? Yes, because then you can blame it on the alcohol.
What, complaining?
No. So Saturday's Herman's birthday. If we don't do anything on Saturday, definitely Sunday night, we'll probably do a few shots and a drop. A couple of shots and a couple of drops.
You said a couple of shots and a couple of drops.
A couple meaning two. Do not ask me what else are you drinking after that. I'll do a shot. Happy birthday, Herman. Happy birthday, homie. Like that.
Look at him.
And then later on, listen, the last time I got drunk on a live stream was with that moonshine. That was not cool. I don't like drinking like that. And me trying moonshine for the first time should have knew better. But Paul was here. Paul had used that Jedi mind trick shit. He goes, Andrew's going on in 5 minutes. Andrew will go, no, I'm not. He'll go, Andrew's going on in 5 minutes.
That works with
Andrew will think about it, say, no, I'm not. Then he'll go, Andrew is going on in 5 minutes. All right, I'll go on later.
That he does it to Roger all the time.
Yes. He says, Roger, you're going on in 3 hours? And Roger's like, I just went off.
I was saying Roger's gonna go on at 7 o'clock.
And at 3 hours, and in 3 hours, Roger will be on. You're turning 50, Logan. Yeah. I don't know how old Herman is turning, but he's
26.
He's older than a goat.
26. They said I'm going on my 26th birthday, or 25 and a half.
Hold it. What did Andrew put? Maybe Paul will get a few drinks in him and start flashing. Stop. You almost made me puke.
A few drinks? You mean like
a few drinks and start flashing the boobs again? Stop.
No, we don't want to see that.
No. Bad.
No. Because then you got to drink more not to see it. And that's not good.
No, and I don't drink until I'm blind. because that's what I'd have to be. And then I'd have to be blind drunk so I don't remember it because stop. I have my own man boobs to contend with. Stop. Andrew, stop starting shit. I see now. Andrew, wait a minute. Has Paul hacked Pusa Studios account? That sounds like Paul. That sounds like something Paul would say.
What?
Herm is a young tree, Big Matt says.
Yeah,
A young tree on a splint.
I'm going to what is it, my 25th and a half birthday.
Uh-huh. The trauma is still haunting my nightmares, and that was months ago. See? So why must you share that lovely memory with us?
Paul taking the shirt off?
What was Paul doing that would make him take a shirt?
I have no idea.
Was it a brownie rush, a sugar rush from eating all the brownies? What?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't either. Apparently Andrew's scarred because he's still having flashbacks. He is. For those of you who missed the drone news we had, I'm going to post a couple of links. Just give me a minute to put them up so you can do the reading. But there is a new drone called the PRISM. And we was kind of hoping Paul would be on here. This way, we could maybe convince him to buy one.
Yeah, it's a very good work drone. It's going to be out there for guys who are, into.
You can pre-order it for $2,500.
Yeah, that's what they're asking for the down payment.
Yeah. So if you want to, I actually want the quad. Now, what's spectacular about this drone, they show two models. They show the quad, and then they show the coaxial X8, which has 8 props.
What year is the car?
Interchangeable arms. All you need is the cheap one, the quad, and you could save up the money for the arms. Interlocking, interchangeable, plug and play. It recognizes that it has 2 motors instead of 1.
What year is the car, Lawrence?
Huh?
What year is the car?
What year is the car?
Yeah.
What?
Outside. The car.
Our car, 2013.
2013?
Yeah.
You might get quarter of the way there.
Oh, if I sold the car.
On the car, go right out by the McDonald's.
I don't think I'll get 20K for that car. Definitely not. If I stripped it down into parts, I might come close though.
You'll get quarter of the way there.
Yeah, right. And then I'll have to tell my son he needs to work for the next 10 years for this company. Don't ask why, just do it. It's a job. Then when it dawns on me, he's not getting a check.
Well, I don't know if it'll take that long. It's only 20 grand.
Yeah, this is true. He went a little crazy on Val's stream, as the kids say. He put them on the glass. Oh my God. He put them on the glass.
On the glass.
He put them on the glass.
I don't
picture Peter Griffin taking his man boobs.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Picture Peter Griffin taking his chest and putting him in martini glasses. Just put him on a glass. Andrew, don't encourage me. Don't encourage me, man. I can claim delirium because I've been up since 3:30 a.m.
You see the craziness going
Michael
on?
Blades, how are you, sir?
Now they want to talk about Paul putting his man boobs.
That's right. He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, come on.
Just because you're having
serving glasses, the ones with this long stem, with
the long stem martini glasses.
He put pudding in
it. He's trying to give us he's trying to paint a picture, and you're doing a very bad job at it, man.
Who? Andrew?
He says I made him spit out his coffee. Hey, you started it. I'm just saying,
He just the ones that looks sort of like a bowl on a long stem. Yeah, the ones like they used to be in the Jello brand pudding.
Stop.
Is that what he used?
I don't know, but apparently Andrew's still having flashbacks. He'd wake up in the middle of the night. Ah! His wife asking him what's wrong. He's like, I saw them again, covering his eyes like this.
Right about now, Andrew. So you staying away from stuff like martinis, mashed potatoes, pudding.
And gray shrimp. He's definitely staying away from the gray shrimp, right, Andrew? Cardoso puts the 2 glasses. See, there you go, martini glasses. That's good to hear, Michael Blade. Anyway, hold on. I said I was putting the link to this. I never posted it. I don't think I did.
Oh, the link to the article on the
Yes.
nuclear plants that are
Oh, no. I'm going to put
being
that link
invaded
too.
by drones by day and by night.
This is a drone, $2,500. You can pre-order it.
Oh, the PRISM?
Yes, $2,500. You can pre-order it.
Yes.
And then for another 18 grand, you can have it.
You know, I have
A little less than that, actually.
I have the
25.
PayPal account on the channel.
Kind
Taking pre-orders,
of, but it's more where
taking
Oktoberfest beer
pre-orders.
mugs versus wine glasses. Wow.
What happened?
Andrew's very creative. He says kind of. His more like Oktoberfest beer mugs versus wine glasses. The horror.
Andrew's got jokes.
I know. I am so glad I missed that day because I'd probably be in tears now. Yes, support each other's channel, guys. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you coming back and checking us out. But you're going to have to watch the playback or click that link to hear about one of the stories. And the actual,
the
I'm
article,
get that one about oh yeah. For those of you who have missed the other story about nuclear power plants being invaded by drones.
Yeah, mystery drones over the
mystery drones over power plants. You do remember the story of Midwest where the missile silos were being flown by as many as anywhere from 10 to 20 different drones, different shapes, different colors, different sounds. Well, if you notice, the government and news kind of hush that story and no one's heard any more about it. Well, now it's just released. I'm getting the description.
Yeah, it was on a Forbes
now it's just been released. Go ahead, Herman.
Yeah, the Forbes article shows that there were drone sightings over nuclear power plants across the country.
Yes.
And some of them, they were unable to detect who and where the pilots were, even though they have drone technology
detection, right.
at this power plant. And at least the one I know in Arizona.
Right. The one in Arizona could detect a drone up to 13 miles away, and they could not detect where the pilot was.
You know,
Corey Mano brought up an interesting fact that you can send a drone up. You can cut on your remote and launch a drone with waypoints and cut your radio off, and it will go and do what it's supposed to and come back. But this story says how for over a period of 80 minutes, 5 drones
5 or 6
doing heavy surveillance and or mapping of these cooling towers over the nuclear plants. And this is happening all over the United States. So if a nuclear power plant is, hey, what's up, Night Train? So if nuclear power plants and power stations are illegal to fly, how come the FAA and the government doesn't know who the hell's doing it, or they can't catch the person? What is it, out of 89? 57 incidents, there were only 5 that were proven or dealt with?
Well, no, actually, they have 3
How are you, sir?
that are still open. Only 5 of them were closed and resolved.
Right.
49 of them were closed but unresolved. They don't know who or where these drones are or who
right. But in that story there, the link that says Forbes.com, you can read it in detail. And what makes it even worse is they're afraid not that a drone could crash a cooling tower, because those are designed to take airplane impacts from planes. But I have 2 videos on this. There are some answers in there. Well, you want to slip a brother a video, huh? On Facebook, so I could do some more reading or watching. Geeks Funner.
Well, it was an interesting thing, but like I said, they mentioned drones operating, at in Arizona, 6 of them operating for 80 minutes.
Yeah,
Which means that they were flying missions or, back and forth for it to be 80 minutes.
right. So make a long story short, they can find my Phantom 4 Pro flying in or around the place I shouldn't be flying, but these drones are in the air
2
for
minutes.
8 minutes and they can't find where it's coming from or who it is or identify the drones. But since Geeksvana says there's 2 videos on this, if he were to send me one to Facebook,
Mhm.
maybe we could kind of finish this story off on Sunday because I'd like to find some more info on it.
Now, what's funny?
Uh,
You know how guys fly from over by Hunters Point and all that other,
mhm.
fly those areas. Do you know what would happen if you go towards the big green building, fly
The
over that?
UN, they
Yeah,
would launch the helicopter.
yeah, I know.
They'll launch the helicopter. There's a UN across from where we fly, and if your drone heads in that direction or passes that direction to or that building too close,
Mhm.
they'll launch a helicopter.
Well,
I mean, it is the UN.
you know how the drone
Says I don't want to go that way.
well, no, because it's not geofenced. So what happens is it'll go into that area regardless, but your screen lights up like a son of a something. It tells you.
Yeah, yeah. Even if you fly past it too close or something, yeah.
You can't see that building at night.
What happened?
How hard it is to see that building at night in your camera from the drone?
Yeah, yeah. They don't want to be seen at night. That's why. To reflect all that glass keeps all the light inside the building.
I thought that was interesting. When we were flying over there, you could hardly see it.
But anyway, we got 9 minutes left to the live stream, and
Mhm.
it was
Almost
pretty
time.
interesting. I got the PRISM link. I have the nuclear drones flying over the nuclear plants. Now keep in mind this story, you can fact check it or whatever, but it was put out September 7th, 2020,
Yeah,
and by in Forbes magazine on the Forbes website.
yeah. So I mean, like I said, it's just an
Not
article.
saying everything Forbes says is true,
Yeah.
but check out the story. It makes for interesting reading only because I always thought you couldn't go nowhere within miles of a
Yeah,
nuclear
neither
plant.
did I.
And the fact that these plants give off so much radiation and electromagnetic interference that these
Yeah.
drones fly it is another wonder.
But don't they have them over at the plant right there with you see where we were flying over by field 6?
Mm-hmm.
Right across there, that they have the same setup over there. You were able to fly past that without a problem.
Yeah, true. That's true. That is true.
I
You're
mean,
right about that.
over here by where we are,
And Big
they
Bertha
have
power
police
plant
boats out there.
and Big Bertha power plant right there behind Queensbridge.
They
That
it says that we have police boats out there
true. That's true. Well,
because they don't want anybody going in that area anyway. Because once you get over there, you're talking about Rikers and the airport.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the prison and then LaGuardia Airport. You're right. They
Brother
have that all
Island
sewn up
is
over there. Who's going on tonight later on?
Oh, who's on? Oh, Bill's on tonight, isn't he?
Oh, okay. This is an FPV pilot.
Coast
I
to
was like,
coast.
who's this? The Facebook shut down his other page.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I will accept friend requests now.
Is that how it goes?
I
Yeah,
accept.
that's who's on tonight. I know Coast to Coast is on. I don't know who else is going to go on. Oh, I believe if not,
Roger. Roger is going on tonight. Yes? No?
is he or is it Mike that's on tonight?
Dobo.
Yes, Wednesday night.
Thank you, JSK.
Thank you, JSK.
Yes,
Yes.
Dobo's going on. If he's not showing the dummy clip, I don't want to watch it.
So you got
The
Bill,
puppet clip. Yeah, you got Bill, Coast to Coast,
and then
and you got Dobo, original Dobo.
Block. So check out Bill at 8:30, Coast to Coast, and Dobo at 9 o'clock, right?
Yes, yes, he does come on at
You
9.
can flip them back and forth. Keep 2 windows open, check them both out.
Yeah,
Good show.
that's what I do. When you
I'm
guys see me looking up
not
like this,
mistaken,
I'm looking at
Big John Coopy's gonna be over there on Bill's show on Coast to Coast. He's usually over there.
okay.
Go on over there and check those guys out. 8:30.
I'm
Tomorrow
waiting.
night. Tomorrow night. What time is that? 8 o'clock? Night train?
Yeah,
Or
Night
you're on at
Train. What
7?
time would
No, you're on
put a
at
plug?
7, right?
Put on a plug for your live stream, Night Train. Steak and cheese wins. Take care. Oh, it's dinner time. Night Train's out.
Oh, okay.
Mancino steak and cheese wins. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I'd be out too.
Sure, Lawrence. I wanted to tell you about this spot over in Jersey, right across the bridge. We passed it a few times. We need to stop over there one day. Cubbies?
That's okay. That's not the one with the giant slices of pizza this big.
No.
No, that's the one with the
That's a
sandwiches. That's the one with the
Cubbies?
steaks.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
do remember you mentioning that.
They slice the steak and they put it on garlic bread, and you can get with
The
sliced
only way.
onions, mushrooms. If you're into mushrooms,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
it's the thing. And you can get that with the steak fries and the big ass beer batter onion rings.
Oh, I don't care about the fries, but the onion rings and the steak, that I could do.
Yeah, yeah.
That I can definitely do. I don't mind.
You know what's funny? I've never finished the whole sandwich.
That's a good thing. It means you got more for later. That means you got more for later.
Well, that means you got to order another order of onion rings.
Oh shit. They go hand in hand, huh? So get 2 orders. If we go there, you get 2 orders of onion rings, and we're only going to eat half a sandwich each. Okay, I got you. But I do remember you mentioning them. You said y'all used to go there.
Yeah, we go there we load up the truck after camp and we bounce.
Oh, Albuquerque said, Phantom Flight, you got to hit up Rutt's Hut.
Okay.
Where is that? Where with Rutt's Hut? Hold on. See, Captain Google to the rescue. Let's go to Rutt's Hut. Let's see. RUT. Damn, I just put up RUT and it comes up. Rutt's Hut, home of the Ripper. That sounds scary. Eat something called a Ripper. Wow.
Where are they located?
Okay, they specialize in dogs and beer. Rutt's Hut. Menu. Wait. Here's the menu. Okay. They are famous for hot dogs like Nathan's, burgers and sandwiches, hot chili and sides. View full menu. I like to see the full.
Where are they located?
This is what I'm trying to see here. Effectively, we will be open daily for pickup orders and takeout.
Okay.
Okay. They have a bacon cheeseburger. That's in my blood right there. Fries with gravy sound like some shit that would put you to sleep. Fried onion rings, okay. Then they have combination sandwiches, Rutt Huts. Let's see where this joint is. Okay, stop showing me. Oh, contact. Here we go. Rutt's Hut in Clifton, New Jersey. Oh shit. Across the river from Riverside Drive, Riverside Avenue.
Not that far.
No, it's not. Clifton, New Jersey is not far at all.
So we can hit there and then go to Cubby's and come home and pass out.
Come home and go into a food coma. Be like Sunday. What happened to Sunday nights with those guys? I don't know. Last I heard, Herman and Lawrence went to New Jersey for some food. Come home and pass out. You're right about that.
Oh man.
417 Rivers Road, Clifton, New Jersey. That is not far. Seriously, that is not
right across the water.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's trying to tell you.
It's right there.
Good suggestion there. I have to bookmark this.
Oh, yes.
And then in Clifton's is the hot grill also.
Okay.
Oh, get out. So you be grilling too?
Then after that, you can go over to Paramus to the DJI store and act the fool. They got a nice big store over there. It's bigger than the one in Manhattan.
Oh, get out of here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's in the mall.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they probably well lit.
Yeah.
Soon
That's where they do all the repairs at.
Soon as you go through the door, they run your face 100 times for terrorist list.
Well, anyway, it's time to get out.
It's that time, guys.
Hey guys, you guys in the chat, I'd like to thank you all for being here and hanging out with me and Lawrence and talking about the talk. We got to talk tonight. These drones flying crazy over these power plants and everything that's going on out there. And like I said, you guys make the show. So
yep, agreed.
For without you, none of this stuff here would be happening because you guys come and hang out with us every week on Wednesdays and on Sundays.
There you go, Ruts Hut, because we're going to hit it up. There you go. That's the website.
We really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you once again. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with those.
Goodbye. 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 Good night, guys.
Okay.